The living Torus, breath of the grand architect. The cosmic principle of self-creation. The Torus is not merely a shape, it's the cosmic principle of self-creation. Everything that exists, from atoms to galaxies, from hearts to magnetic fields, forms and sustains itself through this toroidal flow, an endless circuit of out-breaths and in-breaths, expansion and return. This is the architect of life itself, energy emanating from a center, curving outward, circulating around, and returning home again. Every living field is a torus, breathing itself into being. The geometry of consciousness. The torus is the grand architect because it designs itself. It is geometry animated by consciousness, a self-generating system containing the instructions for its own renewal. From its still center, the 0 point, energy radiates outward, creation, curves through polarity, positive and negative, masculine and feminine, and returns inward again, involution. This endless cycle of expansion and return is the cosmic heartbeat. It is mirrored everywhere. In the human heart, drawing in and sending out life force, in the Earth's magnetosphere, pulsing through the poles, and in the spiral arms of galaxies, circling a silent dark core. Thus the torus is both blueprint and builder, design and designer, the true grand architect. The Masonic G, geometry and generation. In Masonic symbolism, the letter G sits at the center of the compass and square, just as the 0 point rests at the center of a torus, the invisible organizing intelligence that sustains order within apparent chaos. The curve of the G is not a letter alone, it's a glyph, a spiral caught in pause. It traces the living motion of Phi, the golden ratio. The letter G in Masonic emblem holds many meanings: God, geometry, and generation. But these are not separate ideas. They're reflections of one truth. Creation follows proportion. Geometry is not merely lines, numbers, or equations. It is the pattern by which form comes into being, the invisible order that allows generation, the process through which existence unfolds. You can't generate without geometry. Before there is life, there is structure. Before there is motion, there is harmony. The seed spirals according to a ratio. The galaxy curls along the same curve. This is not mathematics as we learn it in numbers and measures. This is qualitative mathematics, the geometry of being, not of counting. Mathematics, in modern sense, is quantitative. It measures, divides, and compares. But the geometry, symbolized by the G, is beyond measure. It's the geometry of relationships, of resonance, of proportion, the invisible architecture of meaning. So the G stands at the center because it is the axis of creation, the reminder that generation arises from geometry. And that geometry itself is the reflection of a living intelligence, not a formula, but a pattern of consciousness. What makes Phi more special than Pi? The square represents temporal matter. The circle represents eternal spirit, always is. The spiral is what was, is, and is to come because it's circular and linear. It spirals infinitely, never crossing the same path twice. It's living and evolving and expanding, whereas the circle is always repeating, never growing. The spiral is beyond that, always becoming. A line is just a segment of a circle, and a circle is just one section of a spiral. The torus expresses the living geometry of the golden ratio, the divine proportion through which life regenerates itself endlessly. The torus is the G made manifest, the God geometry, the golden flow of creation, the green heart of equilibrium. The glyph of the torus reveals continuous creation, God generating through mnemonic growth, the spiral pattern governed by Phi. G is the balance point of creation, the 7th letter, and 7 marks the midpoint between acidic and alkaline, equilibrium in chemistry. The heart chakra, green and central among the 7 chakras, is the midpoint of spiritual polarity, the seat of balance and compassion. Green itself is the center of visible light, balance within vibration, the heart of the rainbow. Heart, green, center, torus all express the same metaphysical coherence. They are one principle seen through different dimensions, the place where opposites harmonize, where creation regenerates around a green center, the sacred engine. The torus is the grand architect because it is both plan and process. The sacred engine builds itself from the 0 point of pure potential. Every temple, every body, every planet, every star follows its design. The G at the center of the square and compass is the torus seen from above looking down, the eternal eye, the heart of creation, the geometry of God. In stillness, the architect draws the plan. In motion, the plan becomes the world. The breath of the grand architect. The torus breathes. Every pulse of creation from the human inhale to the precession of the equinoxes follows the same law of expansion and return. This is the breath of the grand architect, the living motion of the universe as a single self-sustaining body. one infinite toroidal heart, endlessly creating, endlessly renewing itself.